Welcome to a video from digitallifestyle.com. This is my new sound collection for the Wavestate. This is Korg Karma collection, sample from my Karma at the other side of the room. So Korg Karma is a version of a Korg Triton, 2001. It has its own unique sort of flavor from the Triton because it's got these these Karma sequences, algorithmic generated sequences. But on this set, I focused on the sound so you can create your own sequences. So I've this first set, I sampled some of the piano and the string sounds, including some from the MOS board, which is a analog modeling technology board that's in the Karma and in the Tritons. And there's the Vintage Archives pack and the keyboard pack in there as well. So the Triton and the Karma are sample-based synths. And so the MOS board adds the extra layer to it. So this is a selection of those kinds of patches. And I've put together for the Wavestate. I'll show you at the end of the video a quick guide on how to get these and import the reads. So they're all the samples that are in here, and I've created performances to demonstrate those samples. So I'm going to demonstrate them in this video, starting off with the first one that I showed. This one's called 90s Dream because this one is using the 90s piano sound, which I'll show you in a second, layered with a bit of a pad. Just two layers on that. So what you've got is the piano sound. Which is a nice piano sound, and it's sort of house M1's type piano. The Tritons and were based off the Trinities, which is based off the O1W, and you can trace your way back to the M1, so this is where you get that sort of bright piano sound. But this particular patch that I've sampled has got sort of that pad sound built into it. We have got some clean piano sounds as well. We've got the acoustic piano sound. So, not the best piano, but at the time it was a good piano, and it's not going to compete with the multi-gigabyte machines that you can get for you know, for your PC and Mac, but it's got its own character. So we've got a few like that in this collection. We've got some strings in there, and I actually really like these analog string sounds. And of course, you can control the envelopes and everything else through the controls on the Wavestate. Another analog type one, this is called Analog Velvet. It's a nice analog string sound. Then we've got some other more traditional ones, Arco Strings. Does it? Almost reminds me of emulator type strings, that doesn't it? Then this one is a bit of a custom one, really. We've got a few layers on this one. So this one is I call digital split. So on layer one, we've got the bass. You can hear that bass sound, and we've got a bit of drum going with that as well. The drum kits come from the built-in samples. More on drum kits later. And then we've got and with the right hand split, we're wave sequencing through some of those string sounds. There you can see them there. And a bit of octave shifting as well, and then we've got the basic drum kit and that bass. This one is called Few Bows because it's a string sound. Then we've got a hybrid EP, there's a few electric pianos in there. Very 80s power ballad. And then we've got some Legarto Strings. Again, it sounds a bit emulated to me. I mentioned drums. The Karma's got, and the Tritons have got full selection of drum kits included in them. For this one, I sampled the lounge kit from the vintage archives. So I have sequenced this one. So this one has got a sequence with it. So you can play about with those. If you don't want it with the sequence, I have multi-sampled it. So you can do your own. You can run your own little patterns. And I have created a split one as well. And for that one, I've done some sequencing with the Karma samples. The MOS board is a plug-in board that you put in, and it uses physical modeling, but it does analog synthesis modeling as well. So it's one of the early types of physically modeling, analog modeling technologies, and it produces some good sound. So this one is actually, this attack one was based on the Glisten one, which I show up in the attack. So the Glisten one has this great digital sound with it like that. But what I did is I shortened the attack on it. So you got more of an attack sound then. So you can use it like I used it in that sequence earlier on where it was. So you've got both of those samples as your starting point, and then you can play with those. And then we've got what was called Dream. Which was a nice sample. In terms of effects, I've added on some effects on the performances, not on the samples. The samples are exactly as they are on the preset. So if the Karma had a preset with some reverb on it, that's what you're hearing on the sample. What I've just done is added a bit of chorus and some reverbs on the performances of them. Here's another MOS string. The advantage of doing this way as well, the MOS is 4-note polyphony, and of course you've not got that limitation here. Oberstrings, I guess this was modelled after Oberstrings. It's got a nice bright string sound, and of course you can you can work with the envelopes and of course, with these being all samples and you've still got the filter engine, if it's too bright for you, you can play with those envelopes, you know, introduce a bit of envelope attack. So you've still got all those performance controls on it as well. And we've got some rich strings. Then we've got moss rich strings. And then a few electric pianos on here. This is the nighttime one. Quite a nice sharp attack on that one. This one was called Phantom of Time. So this is just one layer I'm using here. So the great thing is you've got 3 more layers to combine that with. Funky analog piano. Kind of a phased piano. Some pizzicato. RBEP has got an effect of a noise kind of vinyl effect on it, scratch, or you know, a record player playing, you can hear the pop and hiss. That's an insert effect on the Karma, but this is captured in the sample. So you can hear that noise. It's quite nice. Then we've got a romance piano. And a soft grand. All the pianos, all the samples are in stereo. Talking stereo, here's a stereo piano. And some stereo strings. We've got a string quartet. Then a studio stage electric piano. And here's one of the things I talked about earlier on. This is a suite based on 3 of the Karma samples. A sweeping EP. Another string one. and one that called SynPiano X, that's what it's called on the Karma. Reminds me kind of 90s Tangerine Dream, I think. Kind of reminds me of 90s Tangerine Dream. And finally, the Watcher one is actually a Mellotron tape type sample. I think probably named after Watch of the Sky, the Genesis sound. There is a better sample built into the Wavestate, which I've highlighted on the Genesis set that's available as well from thislife.com, where I actually recreated that, which sounds much better than this sample, but still it's got an interesting sound in its own right. So those are the samples. You can use them in your own programs and performances. And you need the sample builder. So here's the Korg sample builder. So download the file, open the, once you've unzipped the file, if you open up sample builder and browse for my library file, if you haven't got a library already, and then you'll see them all located in there. If you have your own library, then you'll understand this, but you can then go to add a multi-sample. So you can add the individual multi-samples in this set to your own library and send that down to the Wavestate. I've got a full video on how to do all this, so I recommend you watch that if you're not sure what I'm talking about. I've got to it in much more detail. So there's a set. Oh, and download the performances as well. So there's in the zip file are the performances that I've just demonstrated. So after you've transferred the samples over, import the performances through the editor, or if you've got the native, I've included the compiled version. You can compile your own version and bring those in as well. Thanks to the Patreon supporters for being able to do that. Patreon supporters get early access to these sample packs, discounts to the premium packs. I've got a couple available now. So you've got access to those and some early access to videos and other things as well. So I really appreciate all the Patreon supporters, or anybody that supported the track or made supported the packs by downloading the packs or donations or anything. I really appreciate all the support that I get from you guys. Thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you on the next one.